Welcome to the Hoof and Fang podcast. I'm Kirt Graves.
And I'm Maz Maddox.
And we have big news this week.
Yeah.
For our listeners who aren't Patreon members and who do not subscribe to Patreon in such a way that they can hear our Monday morning show.
Indeed.
Some big changes are on the horizon for you.
Yeah.
And therefore me.
Yes, and therefore you. Since we are at this point connected at the hip. So yeah, I got a great job offer. Amazing career advancement kind of thing. So I'm going to be leaving the job I've had for like 7 years, which is insane.
Yeah, nobody has jobs that long anymore.
I know, it's crazy. So, yep, I formally accepted it. Awesome. Thing about that though is that I have to move, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So me and Alex are moving to Arkansas next year, probably around April.
Man.
So kind of wild.
Great news for Arkansas.
Yes. Yeah.
Bad news for Wisconsin.
Yes, indeed. Which kind of sucks because that means it's going to break up this whole, well, not the podcast,
right.
but like getting to do it in person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the dynamic of sitting in the same room and talking.
Which was certainly the impetus for the podcast.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
very excellent, and as people who listened on Monday know, it's nothing but good vibes.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah, very, very positive.
Yeah.
But,
and you'll do great.
Yeah. I'm nervous. It's one of those, it's a big step up from what I'm currently doing. So the job description I think is going to be, they're going to expect a lot, which I know I can do, but it's one of those like, like it's nerve wracking, but ultimately pretty fantastic.
Right.
So,
have you thought at all at this point about like how that might affect Maz?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit.
Is Maz going to have to like take a back seat for a little while you get trained in and comfortable with a new job and a new life?
So maybe not a full back seat, but definitely, it definitely won't take up as much time of my day. Because like right now with me being remote and being in a job I've had for a long time, a lot of stuff's on autopilot, which is one of the reasons why I was like, it's probably time for me to get a new job. But so I was able to do things like in the middle of the day, like I could work on my newsletter. If I had an idea, I can jot it down. But I mean, I wrote novels when I worked at 911 and I had a huge shift overnight. When I used to have to go into the office years ago and I had like a 3-hour commute home, I would still come home and write. So it's just learning a new routine and getting adjusted to that again there's going to be some growing pains. And I think naturally, just like my creativity is probably going to tank a little bit while I'm learning all of that. But I mean, it's just one of those finding the new norm. And then when I get that spark again, because it's going to happen, that's also the thing that would help me decompress.
I was going to say, it's also that creative rush. It can also be stress relief. Yeah,
it really, really is. So right now I'm like 100% of my thought right now is like the move and the new job and things like that. So I haven't been able to write anything for like almost we're in a new month now, but it feels like I haven't done anything for a while. So I'm kind of waiting for that to kick back in because eventually I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to need it. Like I'm going to need that creative outlet. Yeah. But yeah, it'll be different. There's probably going to be a little bit more of a gap between releases, at least at the beginning, because I had this glorious plan, of like, I was like, oh man, by like February, I'm going to have this done. And I'm like, oh, that's not happening now. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just adjusting everything. But it'll be, if I get quiet, it's just because I'm in a new job, but I'm still here.
You'll be here at least.
Yeah,
You'll
be
here
at
least.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out.
So.
And I also wonder how long will it be before you reveal to a coworker your alter ego?
Oh,
which one will it be? Like, I can't wait for that first day when I get like the message being like, I found a gay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure. That'll be fun. Yeah, it's going to be, oh man, starting all the way back over is going to be a trip. So we'll see. Hopefully it's a bunch of cool people and I can make friends fast.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you're moving from like e-commerce into e-commerce. So like there's a chance that maybe there will be some connections that you're not even aware of at this point.
Yeah.
People who know people that you've worked with or like who knows how many degrees of separation you might be from somebody that you.
Yeah. A manager that I used to work with at my current job came from the job I'm about to go to. So he lives nearby. Like he's in that area. So I actually got his personal information from a different coworker. So I'm going to send him a text and be like, hey, I know
we're going to be neighbors.
Exactly. Like
in quotation marks.
Yeah, neighbors. Like, if you remember who I am, like, tell me the best piece of
And
place.
we're like, so I have a track record of tracking down the one person in the place I'm moving to and just becoming best friends and spending all our time together.
Exactly. So
where are we working?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But at least I kind of maybe know.
Yeah, looking forward to see how you decorate my office before I get there.
Exactly. I mean, you got a pretty high standard.
A lot to live up to.
Yeah. You might want to get started on it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor guy. But that's awesome. That's great news.
So it's exciting and nerve-wracking and great.
Yeah. Nerve-wracking is fun though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm sort of addicted to the adrenaline of that. So like I like changes and I like trying new things. And even when it's scary, it's like, there's something about it.
Yeah.
So
it is one of those, like, I feel like I should be more terrified than I am, but it's more of I just can't wait to see what happens and see what this new space is like, both physically and in the job space, you know?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I'm starting to maybe feel that here because we've been here for 6 years now and it feels like, nothing momentous has really happened.
Yeah.
Because like when we moved here, it was one, a move, two, me starting this career full time.
Yeah.
And even after that, there have been like transitioning into an office outside of, out of the home booth. So like there have been some big shakeups and like, I haven't had a big shakeup in a while. And I'm like, do I need a shakeup? What do I need to do to shake things up?
Yeah.
Because I think I need that newness.
Mm-hmm. Keep things exciting.
Yeah. So we'll see. Work-wise for me, very little to report. Still just trying to catch up.
That's
finally get to start working on your book tomorrow.
That's
so
exciting.
Still just 2 days behind schedule. I should have started Monday. I will start on Wednesday.
Rock on.
Got a flat tire today.
Yeah.
Went home to let the dogs out, take them for a walk, eat some lunch, and very little of that happened because when I pulled into my garage, it was like a hissing sound from my tire, and I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
So then I had to go get that taken care of. So now I have 22 more pages to record before I'm done with today.
Oof.
So that's what I have after this.
That's
so that I can start tomorrow on your book.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
So much.
It's not ideal. Yeah. I would have loved to have not had that in my day.
Just one more thing to have to deal with while also being behind.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all that's going on for me. Not nearly as exciting as what's going on for you.
It's just I wish it was more exciting creative wise. Like I wish I could be like, oh man, I started on this project. But I'm like, no, my brain refuses to be creative right now.
No. So. Well, you've got a lot of logistics to work out.
Yes, exactly.
So, and especially as somebody who is leaving a job where you have to like train the people who will do your job after you leave.
Yeah. My brain hurts.
These 2 weeks are going to be a lot of stress for you.
Well, and I get a week off before I start the new position. So I'm hoping during that week, maybe I can like fall back into some creative stuff or like do maybe a short story
or
for
just
fun.
Relax and rest. Maybe go somewhere, hang out.
Probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't put pressure on yourself to have to be creative and that 1 week off you have between
before a new job.
2 weeks of stressfully training the people you're leaving and then going into training yourself.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was smart to put that week there, but don't fill it with more work.
Yeah. See, that's I'm very guilty of that shit.
Yeah. So since we're talking about moving a lot organically this week, I figured we could talk about it some more.
Yeah, why not?
On the podcast.
Yes, love that.
Because everybody has moving stories. Everybody who's moved has moving stories.
Yeah.
We have some great experiences, some horror stories. Figured we may as well talk about it.
Yeah, why not?
So I have a quick one from when I was a kid.
Okay.
That I'll kick things off with.
Sure.
So we were moving from my first childhood home into my second childhood home, which is where my parents still live today. They built a house on the outskirts of Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Love it.
And we were moving. We had a really close-knit group of neighbors and kids who were around my age. And it was a big deal for us because two of the three families were leaving the neighborhood around the same time.
Oh, wow.
And so we were all separating. It was kind of a big deal. In fact, my parents just went to hang out with those people this last weekend.
Oh, that's crazy.
They still get together and they're still close.
Wow.
I would have gone except that I had the show.
Right.
So like very, very good people, like people who at that point in my life probably were more like family because I saw them every single day.
Yeah.
And so all the kids on moving day for us are just kind of playing in the neighborhood. It was very usual for our parents to just be like, if I can't see my kid, I'm sure they're somewhere where one of the adults in this neighborhood can see them.
Of course.
And even the ones who weren't our parents, like those adults in the neighborhood would like keep an eye on us. There was a woman across the street named Ellen who I'm pretty sure now was a lesbian, but like didn't have that figured out back then.
Yeah.
That like, oh, she was probably a big dyke. But like she would watch out for us, and she like, you know, it's just one of those like idyllic childhood situations.
Yeah.
And so we're just playing and like having a good time, and we're in the playhouse that's in my neighbor's yard, and then we're going into their house and we're eating popsicles, and then we look around and we're like, what? Where are all the adults? Like all of the vehicles are gone. The moving truck is gone.
Oh my God. Did they home alone
Meanwhile, at our new house, all the adults suddenly realize, where are the kids?
Oh my God.
So like everybody just thought somebody else had the kids, and they left us behind at the house. And I was like 5, 6, 7. I don't remember.
Yeah, little.
Was I? Yeah, I mean, we were pretty. No, I was 5 when my brother was born, and he was a few. So maybe I was like 8 or 9.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, yeah, we were not equipped to care for ourselves. We called social services.
Did you really?
Or like child protective services, because we looked up in the phone book, like, who can we call when we're left alone at home?
Oh my God.
And like, we ended up calling some service that my parents then had to be like, it's fine.
It was an accident. We're good parents.
Yeah. But yeah, for like a couple hours, we were just like chilling alone and being like, yeah, we were like left behind. It was like, is it the rapture?
Yeah, right.
Did we get left behind? Yeah, we got home alone. Except we were as a group.
Yeah, or were you like, okay, well, this is our house now. Like, this is just our new
We
norm.
were forming a government.
Great.
It was Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
It was about to happen. We were fashioning spears out of sticks in the backyard. For sure. Ready to go hunting. Mm-hmm. Sorry, local cats, but we must survive.
Eat, yeah, gotta do what you gotta do. At least you had popsicles.
At least we had popsicles. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that's one of my moving stories from when I was a kid.
That's a good one. I don't know. I don't think I ever got home alone, but that would have been a great story. I think the only one that really I guess the one that's the freshest in my mind is when we moved from Texas to Wisconsin, because that was a huge trek, and we had to be in the car for 2 days. We had our cats, and the cats did not like it at all.
No, I can't imagine.
They were not fans.
Right.
So the first leg of the trip wasn't too bad. Like, we gave them some calming collars and stuff. It's fine. Second round, they were pissed off because I think the collars wore off and I didn't have any like good drugs or anything to give them. So they did a jailbreak in the back of the car. So it was me and the cats, and then Alex in the other car, and we were caravanning. So at one point I could hear them like kind of messing with the container or whatever the cats were in, carrier. That's the word.
Sure.
And
the cat container.
The container. And I could hear them kind of like scratching at it and meowing really loud. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. And then it got suspiciously quiet, and that should have been my red flag. But I was like, oh, they went to sleep. No, they got out. So I'm like driving down the highway, listening to an audiobook, and then suddenly it's just like, Kit. I was like, oh, right. I was like, how did you get out? And we're like flying down the highway, and they're roaming around, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe this is fine. So I call Alex, and I was like, hey, can you see my car? He was like, yeah, let me slow down. And he gets beside me, and he like comes to like the driver's side, and there's cats, and he's like, oh my God. And I was like, I think it's fine. We'll be fine. And then like immediately one of the cats, I don't remember which one, got under my feet, and I was like, we are pulling over.
Yep.
We're pulling over right now.
Yep.
But yeah, for like a hot second, the cats were just like liberated in my car. And I was just too tired to care until suddenly I was like, oh, we're going to die.
How did they get out of the cat carrier?
They just, I guess, because it was one of those
crafty little bitches.
Yeah, it was one of those cloth ones. And I think they just like plucked at the door enough to get the zipper loose, and then just like pushed through and knocked it loose. So for the rest of the trip, I had to kind of wedge it between some boxes so they could, even if they got it open, they couldn't get out. So I felt bad. But yeah, they were just
for their own safety.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I was like, oh my God. So yeah, that was fun. And then of course, when we arrived in Wisconsin, it was too early, so we didn't have a place to stay.
Right.
And it was the pandemic. So like you got to come by and say hi, but we couldn't even like go really near your car or anything.
Right.
So
it was high from like 15 feet.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wisconsin.
Yeah. Don't come over. You stay over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Early. It was early.
Yeah.
Pandemic.
It was late May 2020, like just when things were really popping off.
We still had
sucked.
no idea what was safe and what wasn't.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It was not fun.
That was wild.
Yeah.
That was a wild time.
Yeah.
To have to move.
Yeah.
Insanity. Crazy.
So at least this time we'll be able to move and immediately go explore our surroundings instead of
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Instead of like hanging out inside being like, yeah, this state looks really pretty. Too bad we can't talk to anyone.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah. When we moved to Green Bay, we had a little bit of drama. Nothing as exciting as cats in the car.
Yeah.
But we did have, we had a weekend planned to move, and we had a lot of friends who were like willing to come and help us get things packed up on Saturday. And then we were going to take a load up on Saturday and then come back and do another load on Sunday. And we had like the moving U-Haul for a couple days.
Yeah.
I go to pick up the U-Haul on Saturday morning and they're like, yeah, the last people to rent it haven't brought it back yet.
Okay.
I was like, well, what are we doing to get me something to move? I was like, can you just give me
another
a different one?
Yeah.
Or like a bigger one? Even a smaller one? Can you give me something? Like what?
Yeah.
Nope, everything's booked out. We need them to bring it back, so we're calling them.
Okay.
So like waited there for like an hour.
Yeah.
Then said, okay, I'm going to go home. Here's my phone number. Call me if they bring it in.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh no.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Finally, like a couple hours later, they call and they're like, well, we don't know what's going on with that one, but we can get another one same size by tomorrow. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess put that down. Like I don't know
what else to do at this point. Yeah.
So then it was like, let everybody know, okay, well, we're not moving today, but if you can come help tomorrow, which is of course when like fewer people were scheduled to come because they were like, we're going to do the bulk of it on Saturday. We won't also help on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so like a handful of people came on Sunday along with the movers we had actually hired.
Yeah.
And we got everything because what we did is we did 2 guys in a truck for our large furniture, the stuff we didn't want to handle ourselves.
Yeah.
So we had them handle all of our large furniture, and then our smaller stuff, our boxes and small furniture, we just put in the U-Haul.
Yeah.
So that way we didn't have to do 2 trips with 2 guys in a truck.
Right.
Which thankfully we scheduled that for Sunday.
You know. Oh my God.
Because we were going to do a trip on Saturday first and then see what was left for 2 guys in a truck. And have like everything basically cleared out except the large furniture. And then, we just didn't have a truck for one of our 2 days of having a U-Haul rented.
That sucks.
It super sucked. And then I had to bring the U-Haul back down to Sheboygan and take my car back up, and found out that while I was gone, they had left all the doors open while the movers were moving things in and out.
Yeah.
And left the air conditioning running.
Oh, God.
And so our air conditioning broke.
Of course it did.
And it was like the hottest day of the year. It was like 90 some degrees outside.
Oh, Lord.
And the house was so sweltering hot and the AC was broken. And we're like, well, what are we going to do now?
Oh, my God. That's awful.
Yeah. So that was not a fun moving experience, although it did lead to one of my most happy like domestic memories, which is that we were like so tired and sweaty and gross that by the time we took showers and like went out somewhere to get food, like we went to Margarita's, which is a restaurant here in Green Bay, and had like the best margarita and Tex-Mex food I've ever tasted. Yeah. Which I'm sure is not because of the food, but because of like how tired and how relieved we were to just have it done.
Yeah.
You know, like that sort of like tired and like satisfied that like, a big margarita and a chimichanga, like.
Hell yeah.
Great memory.
Yeah.
That's to amazing. This day, when we go to that restaurant, I've tried different margaritas.
Yeah.
I still order the same effing chimichanga. I have yet to have something else at that restaurant when we go there funny. Because it's just it's a core memory at this point. And so
love that. Yeah. That's amazing.
So yeah, that's my other moving story of note. I mean, I've had plenty of other mishaps where like I got a couch from a friend when I was moving into an apartment once, and then it turned out to have fleas.
Oh no!
And it was like, oh, sorry, yeah, it was just in storage. So like somehow it got
thanks
fleas.
Thanks for the infestation.
And it was like fantastic, yeah. So I didn't know what it was, so like I went to an urgent care to be like, I have these welts, and they're like, have you been walking through any tall grasses? And I was like, you don't know me.
Yeah. No.
You would not be asking me that question if you knew me, because no, me and tall grasses, we don't go together. And she was like, through a series of questions, she was ultimately like, did you get any secondhand furniture lately? And I was like, yeah, I just moved into a new apartment and got some stuff from friends. And she was like, oh. I was like, because these look like flea bites. And I was like, oh, yeah, fun. And thus began the deep cleaning and steaming of everything I owned in that apartment.
That's awful.
After like 4 days of living there.
Jeez. Yeah, that's rough. That would be embarrassing too, because then you have to like explain to everyone like, okay, this is what happened.
Oh, I had no problems. It was one of my coworkers who gave me the couch. I threw her right under the bus.
I love it.
I was like, Sherry, you gave me fleas.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, the couch she gave me had been in storage.
Yeah,
it's not like it was in her house. So yeah, it was just something. But I learned.
Yes.
If taking something out of storage, steam it.
Yeah.
Thoroughly.
100%.
Clean it and steam it thoroughly. Because fleas aren't hard to get rid of, but on furniture, because you can't steam a dog.
Yes. Yeah.
But like in furniture, it's pretty easy to get rid of them because the steam kills them. But
nice. Oh yeah. That would be hard.
It was a bummer.
Yeah.
It was a bummer. Thank God I owned a steamer.
Yeah. Lucky.
Because I'm gay.
Is that just one of those staples?
Kind of. Okay. That and a KitchenAid mixer.
Oh, I just recently got
two of the first things I bought when I moved out of the house was a KitchenAid mixer, a food processor, and a steamer, a garment steamer.
Okay. I don't have a steamer. We recently got a KitchenAid mixer though. So, but this is like way late in life, so I don't know if it counts.
That's just for that. That's incredibly late in life.
Yeah.
For me, Mr. 20 years old and must have one for my first apartment.
Are you still just an avid baker? Like, do you use it all the time?
I'm not avid, but I use it regularly still. Awesome. You know, and I don't want to talk about how many years ago that was now.
Yeah, nobody needs to know that.
It's not approaching 20.
No, of course not.
No. Any other fun moving stories?
No. I mean, we did get a nice, cool secondhand couch from my parents that didn't have fleas, but we super broke it because it was one of those. They were no, nothing that exciting.
Damn.
Yeah, no, it was one of those ones that had like a motor in it, and so like it had a fancy like when you lifted the legs or whatever.
Sure.
So when we moved up here, we couldn't get any movers because of the pandemic, so we had to move everything in by ourselves, and that couch was really heavy. I don't have any upper body strength, so it was Alex moving the whole thing, and eventually he just was like. And like threw it into the house and it like and broke. I was like, great. So the couch just had like a lean for like a long time. But like we spent all of our money getting here. So I was like, we're just going to have a broken couch for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just had this leany, crappy couch for like 2 years.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it sucks.
2 years?
Yeah.
I have tools.
Yeah,
I could have come and helped.
We didn't. I didn't want to keep it. I was like, we need to get some new furniture and get rid of that one. Like, I did not want.
Sure, in time, but we could have at least fixed it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh gosh, I was like, sure, at the time of the pandemic, it may have been a little sketchy to have somebody come into your house. We truly did not know. How or why that got transmitted, but like after a while, we were in the same office. I could have come to fix a couch.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, we got rid of it. We have a new couch now.
Now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very interested in hearing if any of our listeners have some interesting moving stories, because I do feel like they are a setting that is rife for disaster and hilarity.
Oh, for sure.
Hopefully both, hand in hand, and not just one.
Yeah. No,
not just disaster.
Bonus points if it's funny.
Yeah.
Liberated cats and
so let us know in the comments what kind of moving stories you have. And then I have a little game for us today. Okay. We're playing a game that I'm calling Bad Descriptions.
Okay, love that.
So what I enrolled the help of my friend ChatGPT.
Okay.
To help me come up with some bad descriptions for popular novels.
Okay.
So there are 5 like classic novels, like
Okay.
ones that like everybody has either read or is at least familiar with, probably read in school. And then 5 more contemporary novels.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a 1-sentence description. And then you have to tell me what the title is.
Am I allowed to try to Google anything or no?
I don't think you're going to need it.
Okay.
I don't know that it would help, honestly,
Really?
to try to Google.
Bad?
Well, no, I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I feel like I took it pretty easy.
Okay.
For the first time around. So I even have an example.
Okay.
So here's a bad description of a book. A kid with glasses gets a letter from a bird, goes to a magical castle with his new friends, and accidentally ends up fighting a guy who lives on the back of someone else's head over a shiny rock.
Is it Harry Potter? I don't know the rest of them.
And
Sorcerer's Stone?
And the Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay.
There you go. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. So are you ready to play?
Sure.
You have to keep track of your own score because I'm not going to remember. All right. All right. So we'll start with the classics. I have 5 classics for you. A lawyer defends a man in a small town while his kids befriend a mysterious neighbor and try to understand why a creepy tree keeps giving them presents.
To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yes.
I forgot about the creepy tree.
Right?
Oh, man. It's been a while since I've read that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Classic number 2.
Okay.
A bunch of people keep misunderstanding each other's intentions while navigating love, money, and social expectations, but somehow it all works out in the end.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Any guesses? Does it remind you of anything? Takes your brain anywhere?
I mean, the first thing that came to, I don't remember what it's called now, is I don't think it's a book. I think it's a play about the Salem witch trials, but I don't think it's that.
The Crucible? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah.
No, it's not that.
I don't know.
No. Okay. It was Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, I've never read that one. I know of it.
I was going to say, all of these have also been turned into movies at one point or another, so.
Fair.
And the classics have all been movies. I think even all the new ones have been movies.
Sure.
I mean, if you're a popular book, you have to be a movie.
Yeah. This is the rule.
It's the rules. All right. The next one. 4 sisters grow up during a war, trying to balance their dreams, family dramas, and romance, while one of them writes a book that might be about all of them. Or maybe not.
Ooh. Little Women?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 out of 3. All right.
Okay. Not too bad.
4th classic. A mischievous kid skips school, tricks his friends into doing his work, witnesses a crime, hunts for treasure, and somehow ends up being both a hero and a troublemaker along the way.
Huckleberry Finn? No, wait.
The other one.
Tom Sawyer?
Yes. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Okay. Excellent.
And finally, in a world where people burn books for some reason, a guy who burns them starts to question everything after meeting a strange girl, leading to lots of running, thinking, and maybe something about a mechanical dog.
That should be the new description on the back of it, because I'd be like, yeah, I'm into it.
On the back of?
Fahrenheit 451?
Yes.
It's excellent.
So 4 out of 5 on the classics.
Yeah, okay.
That's
I
pretty
honestly
darn good.
thought I was going to bomb it way harder than that.
I tried. If we do this again in the future, I will probably take out some of the more obvious details.
Okay.
Because some of them were, like in a world where people are burning books, I was like, that's probably too easy. But
well, it's like I was not in any type of advanced classes, like reading books, because I had dyslexia so bad. So I missed out on a lot of reading stuff.
Sure.
So I know a lot of things from pop culture and movies, but like any classic novels, I probably haven't read. Which kind of sucks.
When I was younger, I had a lot of those like hardbacked, like child versions of classics.
Yeah.
I forget what they were called.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But I had a lot of those that I read with like the big fonts and like the very simplified stories. I remember reading like The Red Badge of Courage and like The Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh,
and
that's
it was
cool.
but they were childrenified.
Yeah,
they were dumbed down. They were abridged.
Yeah.
Heavily abridged. So I know a lot of classics from that, and I know a lot of classics from Wishbone.
Oh my God, Wishbone. That's what I need to do. I just need to go watch all that shit.
Right.
Love those.
Sometimes I look at Bodhi and I'm like, you kind of look like Wishbone, buddy.
You could be a Wishbone.
A Wishbone-y.
Do you ever dress them up for Halloween or anything?
Bodhi does not like to wear clothes at all.
Apollo does, though, yeah?
He's okay with it.
Oh, okay.
He's a better sport.
Okay.
So
that's fair. He's like, he'll put up with it.
He knows the gig.
Okay.
He's like, all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
I get fed a lot and my whole job is being cute. So here I am.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. 5 contemporary novels.
Okay.
A guy from a fancy family and another guy from a powerful political family accidentally cause an international crisis by falling in love after they knock over a cake.
I know that one. Red, white, and royal blue.
Very good.
So cute.
Yes. One we've discussed at length on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 2. A girl accidentally becomes a symbol of rebellion, even though she mostly just wants to survive and not have to pretend to like 2 different guys.
Is it the Hunger Games?
Yes. Number 3. 2 teenagers meet in a support group, travel to meet a mysterious author, and talk a lot about life, death, and a metaphorical cigarette. But things get really sad.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
No ideas? No thoughts?
Metaphorical cigarette. No, I don't think so.
2 kids meet in a support group. For cancer, it's The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh.
Yes.
Damn, that sounds lovely. No, I haven't read that one.
Oh. Did you see the movie?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Well,
probably because it's fucking sad.
It's super sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
I was like, that's going to make me cry.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not going to watch that.
Yeah.
Probably should.
I lean the other way. I'm like, that's going to make me cry. To the movie.
Dude, I would like the opening cinematics would start and I'd already start like crying. It's bad. I'm such a weenie.
All right. Number 4 out of 5 for classics. A stressed out man is sent to evaluate a group of children, but he ends up questioning his entire life, job, and feelings towards the eccentric caregiver.
Is that Cerulean Sea?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I would trick you with that one.
No.
By being too obvious.
No, got
like,
that one.
You wouldn't do a TJ Klune book. I did a TJ Klune book.
Of course.
All right. Finally, number 5 of the more contemporary novels. A girl steals a book while a dark figure keeps narrating her life and the lives of those around her, all while a lot of tragic and hopeful things happen.
I don't know that one.
No.
Sounds lovely. Is it sad?
It's not. It's super sad.
Oh, no. Then I probably haven't seen it.
It's Holocausty.
Oh, God.
It's The Book Thief.
Oh, okay. Holocausty.
It's very Holocausty.
Okay, yeah, I probably won't read it because I'll get sad.
It is. But it's also beautiful.
I know. A lot of those like really, really heartbreaking ones are the ones that are just like also uplifting and wonderful for the soul. But yeah, I'll cry a lot.
Yeah. Sadly, it often has to be both.
Yeah.
But so that was our first round of bad descriptions.
Yeah, it was fun.
It'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's got to get harder.
Yeah, it probably needs to.
We'll maybe pick a bit more obscure titles, but just to introduce the game, I thought this was an entry level.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Way to go. So
yeah.
So that is it for us today. Do not forget all the cool things that we have happening over on Patreon. Mm-hmm. We have what do we have? I'm gonna let you say it.
So we've got Far From Neverland. Episode 2 will be next week, right? Yes.
God willing.
Yeah. Hopefully.
The way things have been going.
For sure. The first episode is available for everyone. Are we keeping that up for a while? Like if they're listening to the podcast today?
It stays up. So we generally keep all of the episodes up until the book comes out in our online store, and then we take them all away.
Sweet. So yeah, if you are maybe not sure if you want to jump into the Patreon, you can listen to kind of what we're doing since it's not behind a paywall right now. So you can sign up as a free member, listen to the first episode. Highly recommend because it immediately got me hooked. So I didn't mean to be that dumb, but here we are. So yes, the first episode is out. Second one is next week. Animorphs number 44, The Unexpected, comes out Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still sharing work in progress chapters for Save the Vampire, which I think the final proof comes back this coming up weekend, and I'm kicking it over to Tantor, I think Monday. So
nice. Hopefully
it'll get to you quick. And then we've also
it won't. I'm scheduling into February.
So eventually that'll happen. I've got the cover for Save the Vampire. I'm going to do a cover release for the Patreon.
Ooh, the patron.
Yeah, the patron. So I'll be tossing that up probably Friday for our peoples.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've also got the early shift every Monday where we're doing those, and those have been fun. So if you want to listen to us chat a little bit more about our personal lives and kind of not book-related things or creative things, you should go check that out because it's fun.
Right. Yeah. They heard about the big move first.
Exactly. Yeah, got the heads up.
Awesome. So yeah, and if you're not following us on Patreon, some other great places you can follow us: Instagram, TikTok. Mm-hmm. We're on Twitter, but we don't post anything there. We do have a page on Facebook.
Yeah,
something.
I don't keep up with that one as much.
Great.
It's usually,
so Instagram and TikTok.
Instagram, yeah.
Search Hoof and Fang podcast.
I'm on those more. So.
Right. And then we also have the website, hoofandfangpodcast.com, where you can find out more about the audiobooks we're producing and any other exciting upcoming projects that we have yet to announce. But some things are on the horizon.
Yeah.
So that is what we have going on in the coming days. And we will be back here next Friday. Mm-hmm. And if you're a Patreon member, we will talk to you again on Monday.
Yeah, see you then.